Public schools in 3 states so far have decided to teach elementary school children LGBT history in multiple subjects. It began in California last year, the trend-setting state, and others are jumping on board, with the latest state being New Jersey. According to reports, school districts in Rockland, California require students in kindergarten through 5th grades to learn about the contributions of LGBT individuals in history and social studies curriculum, and many parents are upset that there's no opt-out for their children. This is just the beginning, and this is what happens when radicals are in control of the education machine in America. I'm David Fiorazzo, and this is Christ and Culture. Let me ask you a question. How can such a small percentage of people influence the entire curriculum of a school district, a state, and eventually a country? California parents protested, urging the school board not to push this curriculum through, but they did it anyway. But check out the response of the parents when the board approved the new curriculum that includes LGBT history. Parents of more than 700 students kept their children home in protest. Other concerned states should take their cue from these parents. At the time, a spokeswoman for Informed Parents of Rockland, Rachel Crutchfield, stated, quote, "We believe that anyone who has made a significant contribution to society should, of course, be included in our history textbooks. However, the concept of sexual orientation is far too complex of a topic for elementary-aged children to be introduced to at school. Let's let kids be kids." But that's part of the agenda, isn't it? Reach and indoctrinate kids at the youngest ages possible to condition them against God and their parents. Amy Bentley is a math teacher in Rockland, California. She argued in favor of the new gay history and wants it taught at the elementary level because, she says, many students enter middle school already knowing they're different. Wait, what? Define different. So is she suggesting these young children, because they might think they're gay, lesbian, or transgender, they must be conditioned and reaffirmed? God created them, yes, male and female, in His image, unique, and yes, different. But that's a different context. How do children know or understand they're different unless adults teach them what to believe and what to think? Family groups say the LGBT history contradicts biblical teachings on creation and sexuality, of course, that it will be taught in multiple subjects, and the scope of the changes will impact every subject in school. Not surprisingly, Illinois also joined the party, deciding to implement the curriculum, but the Family Policy Alliance of New Jersey launched a petition in their state to urge the governor and legislature to allow parents to opt their children out. They object, as we all should, to tax dollars being used for what is basically an assault on religious liberty. How did they respond? Democrat Governor Phil Murphy signed the new law requiring public schools to teach children about the contributions of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. At a January 4 conference in Flemington, New Jersey, parental rights activists from grassroots group Protect Your Children were there to testify against the new law. But the president of the New Jersey Board of Education, Kathy Goldenberg, get this, she told parents the board was not empowered to make any policy changes with regard to the curriculum focused on lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender issues. She explained, quote, "The law was enacted by the state legislature, and it did not grant the board a policy-making role with this law." So, progressive politicians are making decisions which can't be challenged? Hopefully you've been praying for America's children. They need it, especially for the majority of families who disagree with young children being taught not only LGBT history, but the radical sex education and perversion and experimentation that's been in schools for decades. Prayer is good, but now it's time to take action, friends. The issue of parental rights will continue to be one of the many education battles across the U.S. So what about Bible history? Have you ever thought about this? The scriptures have been proven by archaeology, science, and secular historians to be accurate, reliable, and true, but you won't find teachers opening up the Bible in government-run public schools. Once again, it seems Christians are left out. In fact, one of the new school history lessons is about the memoir of a boy forced into conversion therapy. Now, that's code, by the way, for Christians are intolerant, bigoted, they should leave people alone, and their God has no power to change anybody anyway. By the way, the New Jersey LGBT group behind the enforcement of the policy actually has someone in a position called Safe Schools and Community Education Manager. Safe schools? They're teaching very young children things they should not have to hear and learn, and more importantly, it's against the family values and the will of most parents. What do they mean by safe? It's time for concerned citizens to get involved and slow down this madness and indoctrination. God bless you, and keep speaking the truth about things that matter.